woke up thinking today is that everyone's perception of a city is completely different, depending on what you do in the city, where you go out, where you eat, where you live. It's incredible how everyone's reality is different in exactly the same city.
So it's warm, but even then, I think the experience of Cartagena, just like Bogota, is improved with bicycles. I'm gonna show you a little bit about Cartagena, and we're gonna talk with Kristy, an Australian girl who came to Cartagena and has established a tour company, and she's really got a finger on the pulse of what's happening in Cartagena. Let's do it.
Ajá. Esto es Cartagena, Caribe Big Bang, celebrando el bicentenario.
Hola, toma una foto. Tengo cannabis, tengo marihuana, cocaína.
The idea was the kids could like make a little representation of their neighborhood, of their house, and then you could then see what the neighborhood is made up of.
Here we go here. Mora?
So good. Volley. No, it's Corozo. Shopping trolleys, all reinforced so it can carry as much weight as possible.
Es muy conocida por
alegre. Hey, bailito. Ahí, guaca.
Water, like a blackberry. It's not stupid like a raspberry. It's really sour. It's tamarind. Corozo, which is... And then they'll wrap them up and
Costinitas. So it's beer from here that comes in a small little bottle because if it was any bigger, it would get hot by the time you finish it. Okay, so you're from New York?
Yeah, from Brooklyn.
Okay, I think word's getting out in New York about Cartagena. And this was your tour, first time to Cartagena?
Yes, it was, yep.
How has this tour changed your perception of what Cartagena was before and what you see it as now?
I think for me, I didn't really have that much of a perception of what Cartagena was all about. I mean, you maybe heard some things and read some things in a book, so it wasn't as if I had a specific idea. But what this has done is been able to open my mind up about what the culture's like and the like. So this particular walking tour, specifically, is often a way that we'll begin to do something in an unknown city or country to do just this, learn a little bit more about the culture, go to some places that we haven't been to before, or that you wouldn't necessarily go to learn a little bit more about it. So I think it's opened my mind up to the way that Colombian people live, people specifically in Cartagena. This is our second day.
Second day.
Which is really, as I said, we usually like to start our time start like this.
Okay. 3 words to describe the city. What would you use?
I would say vibrant. I would say terrifically interesting. I think the people show a lot of color and spirit, and those are not 3 words, but somewhere in there's 3 words.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
What flavors have you got here?
I'm getting basil and ginger.
Gelateria Paraíso. Very recommended. Delicious flavors of ice cream.
Nothing right.
So, Kristy from Brisbane, 5 years in Cartagena, set up a experience company.
Yes, it's a tour agency. We can say it's a tour agency.
It is a tour agency. Yeah.
But yeah, it's experiences.
It's experiences. So street food, the markets, nightlife, history. Anything else?
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
volunteering if you want to be connected to volunteer opportunities. Hopefully it's just getting connected to the best of everything.
I started this vlog talking about perspective, and my perspective of Cartagena has expanded. I've been here 4 or 5 times, and I feel like in the last 2 hours I've finally started to understand the city. Whether you're a backpacker, a luxury traveler, traveling on a motorbike, or stopping in on a cruise ship, your experience and perspective of the city is going to be shaped by the people you meet and the people who share stories about what's happening. So for me, it was really helpful getting Kristy's kind of perspective as an Australian, and it's kind of funny how that works, right? How an Australian is, you know, sharing the messages and the history and the stories of the city. You know, I think there's lessons to be learned from everyone. What were tour agencies doing when you first got here?
When I first got here, the tourism market was very, I guess, in its infancy, for the English-speaking market at least, because that's what I was interested in. I didn't speak any Spanish, so I was interested in the English-speaking market, and it was pretty much the big pack tourism where people come and they put a name badge on you and they talk to you on a microphone, and you're with like 15 other people shuffling around, making sure that they divert you to a souvenir shop or an emerald store so that they're earning commission from you. And I mean, I really don't like that kind of tourism. I want to know about the food when I travel. I want to know about the music. I want to know about those idiosyncrasies that make a place what it is. And the history is interesting as well, but you know, whether the dates of the churches are told to me correctly, that's not really the most important thing to me. So when I noticed the absence of that, and I knew that the English-speaking world was going to start really coming to Cartagena. This was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I decided I would stay here and cater to that market that I knew was going to grow. And pretty much as soon as I made that decision, they started the direct flights with JetBlue, coming in direct from New York. And that was like, hello, target market. And so it kind of grew and grew from there.
Actually, 95% of the international travelers that I've met are from New York.
Yeah. Well, that whole direct flight JetBlue thing was huge, because basically all these people are coming from New York. It was very affordable, it was direct, it was the same time zone, and the original, the opening price was $300 return.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. So you're in New York City, it's cold, you can't feel your face. It's like the middle of winter in February, and then you're in always summer Cartagena, and then they start taking photos of this incredibly photogenic place and the colourful houses, and then they're going to trips in the islands, and everyone's like, hang on, following their Instagram accounts, where are you? Like, where is this magical paradise? Colombia? I thought Colombia was full of drug dealers and violence and the second most dangerous, or the most dangerous country on the planet. And the perspective started to change, and I think it was really driven by visitors and that community-based sharing of travel destinations, that, you know, this is the kind of place that when you come here, you just want to tell everyone, because you're like, what? How did I not know about this place before? It's amazing. So everyone did the advertising for the city, and it just grew from there.
I think Instagram has a lot to do with this changing reputation. It's one of the most photogenic cities that I've seen, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So compared to package tourism, I do enjoy this kind of tour.
People always want to like overplan their trip to Cartagena. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend starting with some kind of tour with us to orientate you and to get that, to give you that confidence to get out there and start finding your own amazing places and your own, uncovering your own stories. But that initial orientation, so you get that background, you get the context, and then do that. Go get lost. Like, you know, hang out in the plaza for an hour or so, just watching people and trying out limited Spanish, or realizing that so much of the communication is non-verbal. I mean, this city is really magical.
More perspectives that you collect from different parts, different people, the different ways of life. I think a common perspective is built. What do you think is the common perspective?
So the common elements
of Cartagena.
The common elements are things like this love of music, definitely, the love of dance, that it was a way for me to break down barriers as a foreigner who was blonde, who didn't speak the language, but I'd have a go and I'd start dancing with them and they're like, she's all right by us. And that has carried me into the top posh parties with the beauty queens of Colombia to dancing with the people in the street. And I think that's one thing that really unites Colombians is music and dance. I think family is huge, and people derive their happiness from their family. Pride in their children is enormous. And I think food. I think food is a really big unifying common denominator across Cartagena and probably Colombia as well. It's love of food.
Where can people find you if they want to join along for the ride you're on?
Hey, check out CartagenaConnections.com, Instagram Cartagena Connections, and yeah, come. Cartagena's amazing, and I aim to be like, for people who don't like tours, your local friend to kind of just hook you up straight to the good stuff. So come and let us do that.
So that's the reason I think tourism is the biggest opportunity for Colombians in decades to start a business and to change their socio-economic strata. I think Cartagena is one of the first cities in Colombia that is realizing that Colombia is now competing on the international stage. I think it means that everyone needs to step up their game. It means that you've got people like Kristy coming from Australia, falling in love with Cartagena, wanting to show the world. It means that Colombia can't always do things the way it's always been done, which in Cartagena seems to be taking a bus load of people from the cruise ships to different emerald shops and different souvenir shops, you know, and making those types of commissions. The entire experience has been democratized. So I'm at the clock tower, the entrance to the old city. From the moment the first enslaved blacks were forced to cross this door, they developed a new mindset of rebellion, resistance, and negotiation in order to reinvent themselves as new human beings in these territories. It is the responsibility of every citizen to combat all racist, discriminatory, and exclusion practices. Our duty is to banish once and for all the echoes of infamy. The times are changing rapidly here, and Colombia is competing on the world stage, which means competitors are coming from all over the world. If there are companies that are purely seeking profits instead of looking to add value to the perspectives and the experiences of tourists, they need to also reinvent themselves. The free market will always correct itself. So that tour was exactly what I needed to start going deeper into understanding about what is happening here in Cartagena. So coming up, we're going to be talking about real estate, things to do, places to go, places to eat. We'll see you guys in the next video. Embrace your fears, embrace your dreams, embrace a life afar. Ciao.
Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to check in real quick and make sure that you've signed up to my newsletter. Each week I'm sharing lifestyle investment opportunities. These are investments that generate passive income as well as enable an independent international lifestyle. I'll be curating the best opportunities from Colombian and Latin American real estate, agriculture, crypto, and digital real estate. To sign up, head over to newsletter.sammiller.life.